consciousness, one of the universe's greatest mysteries. It's the force that defines our every thought, our perception of reality, our emotions, and our self-identity. But what is consciousness? Is it the brain processing signals, or something more ethereal, transcending the limits of physical matter? In this journey, we'll dive into the science, psychology, and philosophy behind consciousness. We'll explore how it evolved, how it shapes our perception of reality, and what it reveals about existence itself. To truly understand human consciousness, we need to begin at the very dawn of life on Earth. Life started as simple, unconscious organisms, bacteria, algae, tiny marine creatures. But through millions of years of evolution, certain species began developing more complex nervous systems. They learned to respond to the world around them. With the rise of more advanced brains, animals became capable of decision-making, problem-solving, and eventually, self-awareness. But here's the burning question: why did this happen? What was the evolutionary advantage of developing consciousness? Was it simply a means of survival, allowing us to anticipate danger, collaborate with others, and make long-term plans? Some evolutionary biologists suggest that consciousness emerged as a form of internal simulation, giving us the ability to imagine future scenarios and avoid mistakes before they happen. Think about this. Without consciousness, humans might never have advanced beyond basic survival instincts. Our ability to reflect on the past and imagine the future allowed us to create art, language, societies, and even complex technology. Consciousness, in essence, is what made us human. But is this where the story of consciousness ends? Or could it continue to evolve in ways we can scarcely imagine? Hit that like button if you're curious to explore more of these ideas. And make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of consciousness. We're just getting started. Now, let's zoom in on what's happening inside your brain at this very moment. Neurons are firing, sending electrical signals through complex networks that give rise to thought, emotion, and awareness. But how does this biological process translate into conscious experience? Modern neuroscience has mapped out specific regions of the brain that contribute to different conscious experiences. The prefrontal cortex is where we make decisions and form our sense of self. The limbic system regulates our emotions. But what's fascinating is that consciousness doesn't arise from any one part of the brain. It's a symphony of different areas working together. And when certain regions fail or are disrupted, our entire perception of reality can change. Think about what happens when you sleep or when you dream. Your conscious experience shifts, but your brain is still active. Or take meditation, where focused attention can alter your conscious state. And then there's the question of psychedelic substances, which temporarily alter how these networks in your brain interact, producing mind-expanding or even mystical experiences. So what are these altered states of consciousness really telling us? Do they reveal deeper truths about the nature of the mind, or are they simply hallucinations created by a brain in flux? The answers could change how we understand reality itself. Comment below. What's the most profound or unusual dream you've ever had? Have you ever felt like you've glimpsed something deeper during meditation or a dream? Let's discuss. Our brains are like filters, constantly processing the flood of sensory data we receive every second. But here's something mind-bending. What we see, hear, and feel isn't always reality. It's our brain's interpretation of that data. So, in a way, each of us is living in a version of the world that's unique to us. But does that mean reality itself is subjective? Take optical illusions, for instance. They show us how easily our senses can be tricked, how our brains can sometimes fail to accurately perceive the world. But what if all of reality is, in some sense, an illusion? Some scientists argue that our brains construct the world we experience, that we're constantly filling in the gaps with our own expectations and previous knowledge. In other words, we're not just passive receivers of reality, we're active creators of it. This idea has profound implications. It means that what we perceive as reality is just a mental construct, a world built by our brain, based on its best guess of what's out there. So, if our perceptions are shaped by our individual experiences, does that mean reality is subjective? Is there an objective world out there, or is each of us living in a different reality? What do you think? Have you ever experienced something that made you question your perception of reality? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with someone who loves exploring mind-bending ideas. Who are you? It seems like a simple question, but when you dig deeper, it becomes far more complex. Are you the same person you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Or are you constantly evolving, shaped by your experiences, memories, and the world around you? Psychologists believe that self-identity is largely constructed from our memories. But here's the kicker: memories aren't static. Every time you recall a memory, your brain reconstructs it, altering small details based on your current experiences, emotions, and knowledge. So in a sense, the you of today is different from the you of yesterday, and the you of tomorrow will be different still. But if our memories, and therefore our identity, are constantly changing, can we say that our sense of self is real? Or is it just a story we tell ourselves to make sense of the world? And what happens when our memories are lost through amnesia or neurodegenerative diseases? Does the self disappear, or is there something deeper that persists? Some philosophers argue that the self is nothing more than an illusion, a narrative constructed by the brain to create a sense of continuity. But others suggest that the true self is deeper than memory or experience, perhaps even connected to consciousness itself. Consciousness, as a concept, presents some of the hardest philosophical problems. The easy problems of consciousness, understanding how the brain processes information and reacts to stimuli, can be explained by neuroscience. But what about the hard problem? The question of subjective experience, why we experience the world the way we do. This remains a mystery. Why do we feel emotions like love, joy, or pain? Why do we perceive beauty in a sunset or sadness in a song? These subjective experiences, known as qualia, are things science struggles to explain. We can measure brain activity and map out neural processes, but the feeling of consciousness, the raw experience of being alive, remains elusive. Could it be that consciousness is something beyond the physical, something that can't be reduced to neurons and synapses? Or is it simply a product of incredibly complex brain processes that we don't yet fully understand? As we push the boundaries of technology and science, the future of consciousness itself could change. We're already exploring ways to enhance or even replicate consciousness. With the rise of brain-computer interfaces, augmented reality, and AI, we could soon be entering an era where machines think like humans. But could a machine ever become truly conscious? Some scientists believe that replicating consciousness in machines could be the next frontier. Imagine a future where we could upload our minds into computers, preserving our consciousness indefinitely. But would that truly be you, or just a copy? These questions stretch the limits of what we know about the mind, and they raise profound ethical dilemmas about what it means to be alive. The future of consciousness is filled with exciting possibilities and daunting questions. As we uncover more about how the brain works, we're not just exploring a biological process. We're unraveling the mysteries of who we are, what it means to exist, and what the future holds for the human experience. We've ventured deep into the mysteries of human consciousness, but there's still so much more to explore. If today's journey sparked your curiosity, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for more deep dives into the mind, the universe, and the questions that define our existence. Don't forget to share this video with someone who loves contemplating the mysteries of life. Together, we can continue exploring the uncharted territory of consciousness.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. Join ThinkWiser for more wisdom and insights to elevate your life.